Celebrate, Jesus, celebrate. Celebrate.
In some form of faith. You have to be foolish to think that you're moving and faith is not involved.
Amen.
I'm reminded as you use the products, ladies use the products for their hair. They have faith that the people made it so that the hair would not fall out.
Amen.
You would be very disappointed if you reached up there and pulled out and had a handful of your hair. So you have faith in the people that made the product. Some of you have spent tens of thousands of dollars for your vehicle. You had faith that when you took it off the lot, that the next day that you wanted to get in it, that the key would still fit and it would still crank up.
Amen.
Some of you had faith in partnerships, business partnerships. Some of you are still having faith in relationships with people that you know on your job or someone across the seas. You deal in the area of faith every day. Now, as we look at it, we find out that as we build our faith, this is the review from last time we talked, faith is built in us by what? Hearing. Faith comes by what? So when faith comes by hearing, that's Romans 10 and 17. Faith comes by hearing. Hearing what? Hearing the word of what? God. Now, if you can get a whole lot of word, but if you don't get the word of God in you, then your faith is going to diminish. Because people will tell you all kinds of stuff. Can y'all say stuff? Stuff. People will tell you all kinds of stuff, and they know they're lying when they start it.
Amen. Amen.
And they don't prove to be faithful. Look at Enron. Look at AIG. That's the most recent one. Look at all the folks that told you, get along. Oh, the best thing to do is to get along, don't worry about it, go in there as low as you can, no down payment. Don't worry, we'll fix it later. Y'all not with me. But you know what, when the mortgage companies did that, they didn't realize that they were dealing with crazy folk. They didn't realize that those folk were faithful to mail the keys back. Hello? Now, as we start this morning, I want to let you know that many of us haven't given faith a fair deal. Some of you say faith is foolishness. I don't want to believe in all of that stuff. Can I be real? It ain't going to work for me. I know my mama talked about it, and it worked for my mother, it worked for my grandmother, but you know what? I believe my mama and grandmama were half crazy anyway. Faith is believing something that you do not ordinarily see. If you can see it, then it's not what? Faith. It's not faith. So, many of us do not give faith a fair chance to operate. We are the now generation. We want to touch it, we want to see it, we want to smell it, we want to taste it, we want to deal with all of our senses, but we don't want to deal with the unknown.
Amen.
Now, I gave you on your program 3 people that operated in some form of faith. When you use faith, faith gives big results. Now, but you got to believe for big stuff. Now, if you're not believing for anything large, you're going to get what you believe for.
Amen.
Hello?
Amen.
The first one I told you about there was Henry Ford. I'm not going to read that to you. You can read that at your leisure. But Henry Ford decided that he was going to be different from all the other automobile makers. He wasn't the one that came out with the automobile. Somebody else was making an automobile, but only the very wealthy could afford it. Henry said, man, if I can get this thing down scientifically, simply, I can get the poor man to afford a Ford. How do you get it?
That's right. That's right.
Now, if you notice, when the first Ford came out, I'll put the numbers on there, so if I don't give you the exact dollar amount, I'm not looking at that. It was about $800 and some dollars. That was the first Ford he came out with. I wish I could buy a car today for $800.
Amen.
I would even be satisfied for $1,000 if it was brand new.
Yep.
But you know what? He says, that's too high. We still have broke folk in America, so he got the car down under $600. He became very, very wealthy. Because he believed he could come up with something that would work. Faith is believing that you can take an idea and make it what?
Word. Amen.
Now, I told y'all about a year ago or so that some of us have a major problem. We will start something, and because it didn't work for you the first time, you quit. You get burnt out. You get tired. You give up. You say, it's not for me. I don't care how many times you have to do something. You may have to refine and retune your idea. But faith, if God has given it to you, we're going to talk about the two realms in a minute. If God has implanted it in your spirit, it will work.
Amen.
Hello, somebody.
Amen.
Now, I gave you two other people that I wanted to look at. One of those was, well, they're both named Johnson, but the first one was named John Johnson, John H. Johnson. He started the magazines. Y'all read them all the time, the Jet and the Ebony magazines and so forth. He borrowed $500 against his mother's stuff. It sounds like some of us. We don't have any money, so we go borrow against our mama's jewelry. Y'all call that the pawn shop. I don't know how he got the money for mama's furniture and stuff like that. But he got $500, and he had a vision, and he had a dream. Yeah. He turned that into $150 million in his pocket. Amen. The first man that was on in the magazine to show that he was one of the 400 wealthiest Americans in 1982. A man came from $500 to $150 million. Finally, the last person I want to look at is Robert L. Johnson. Most of y'all still watch his TV network that he sold. It's called Black Entertainment Network. For short, it's called BET. Now, he started with nothing also. Now, he believed that he could come up with something and he could give a entertainment network to people of minorities, or to a particular minority, which was black. And he started with $15,000. Listen to me. Now, most of y'all think Oprah Winfrey. If y'all say, who was the first black millionaire, everybody will say it's Oprah. No, it wasn't. It was him. He sold his company for $3 billion. Started with $15,000, but he believed by faith that folk would watch